Okay, today I thought I'd do a little, put together a little video on the 55 Buick Special. Got a little progress, kind of the outside of the rear rocker there, and the front fender. Did some repair on that. So the little video I thought I would put together is floor repair. If you can spot the rust, it's pretty bad, but it's not the worst I've seen. This is the driver's side, passenger side. The driver's side is actually pretty good. It's got a couple little holes. I'm doing this like there's no rehearsal, or I've never done the Buick before, but floor pan's a floor pan's a floor pan. So you can probably buy a panel or a floor pan for these for, I don't know, a couple $100 I would think, but I like to make my own. That's part of my hobby, right? I got lots of time again. I don't shoot a lot of videos because usually I have another business, and it's shut down right now because of this little flu that's going around, you may have heard. So what I do is I take a screwdriver, and you wanna find the good shit, right? You know, it's oh, there's another little spot. You don't want to be welding a patch in and then all of a sudden you find some new rust. So I like to find all the new rust ahead of time. So anyways, I've obviously got a chalk outline there, and I've already kind of poked it. I use this construction paper. You can get it at the dollar store, cheap, wherever. You kind of figure out how much you need, and what I usually do is kind of get it to, I'll cut where I kind of think it has to be. You can pencil out what you need. Then you're going to use some magnets. Any magnets will work, just because you don't want this moving around when you're making the panel. This particular panel, you can see over here, there's beads. I like to try and get it as stock looking as possible. So what I try and do is, I'll show you in a bit, but I I use the dirty finger approach. Dirt finger, and if you do that, you can kind of hard to see, but you can kind of find where your bead has to be. This is a pretty bad example, but I'll maybe show you on a little one here. See, there's a bead that goes up right here, so just the dirty finger approach. You just press down on it, and then when you lift it up, you can kind of see where it is, and you can see the indent, or you can take the side of a pencil, works really good too. So I need both my hands to start making this panel. I'm gonna try and make this video from start to finish. I'll try not to skip too much. So there's gonna be some bead rolling, maybe a little shrinking, stretching, a little English wheel. I'll try and keep the swear words down to the max, and there'll be some tack welding. So I'll take you start to finish. Okay, I'm getting the floor panel kind of fitted in. I just wanted to show you guys this. Now, if your paper buckles, that means that's going to be a spot that you're going to have to shrink. Okay, so what you're going to have to do is cut this. I'll try and, I'm the one-handed cameraman. So now it's overlapped, and that's okay. So that just tells me in that spot, I'm gonna have to shrink. You know, you can make notes on this thing, that's no problem. So I'm gonna start lining in these beads, and then I will transfer that over to the piece of sheet metal I use. I think I'm gonna use, I work a lot with 20 gauge. Seems to work for me. Once the beads are in there, it seems to give it some good rigidity. Stay tuned. Well, for the floor pan, here I have the little extra, the beads are transferred. It's a really good idea when doing this to do it, to tell yourself, make a little note, bead in, because some beads, you know, come up. You don't want your beads reversed. Just, I don't know. Maybe if you're into that, but I like to give myself little notes. That's where I was shrinking on the pattern there. These guys here are very wide beads. I'm going to use the widest bead roller dies that I have. I think they're only about 3/4 of an inch, so it's not going to match up perfectly, but it is going to be covered with floor mats, right? So here we go. Well, here's where I am at on the floor pan now. You know, it's getting closer. Every time you trim a little bit off, it gets a little closer. You just don't want to trim too much, right? So you see my notes here. It kind of goes up right here, so I'm gonna have to curl that up. I can use the knee bender 2000, or I'll probably use the English wheel with a curved die on it. Now, I think I'm gonna roll my beads now. Hopefully that's the right decision. But first of all, before we roll, do the beads, I have to throw it in the English wheel. We want to stretch the metal in this area, because if I roll a bead, it without stretching the metal, it gets all warped, and then it's really difficult to fit in place. It's possible to fit in place, but yeah, nobody needs any more frustration than they have to. Okay, here's my cheap Princess Auto English wheel. Works for me. I got to stretch that metal, so I got a flat profiled bottom die there. I'll just kind of throw it up in here. So this area is going to be stretched when I roll the bead. So maybe I'll use my knee. When I move this, you're gonna hear it kind of crinkling. I hope it does. You can kind of hear it a little bit. So we're stretching that area out. It makes sense. All right, I got to my, like I said, one-handing once again. So you see my nail die there. These are the kind of the 3/4 inch or 1 inch beads in the floor pan. Okay, I'm running some beads here. You see it on the other side there. It's about 3/8 bead. The floor pan's finally starting to look a little more like it belongs in there. 1955 to 2021. I gotta roll this up a little bit in the English wheel well. Obviously a two-hand job, so let's check in later. Well, I lied like a cheap Persian rug. I didn't use the English wheel on that trans-tunnel bend. I used this radius on the bead roller. I'm getting some really good fitment on this pan now, this floor pan. Like I said earlier, up in this area, I have to shrink that. This is a little bit too wide an edge to put in my shrinker stretcher, so what I'm gonna do is probably right about here, I'm gonna do a little pie cut, or just take a little bit out with the angle grinder with the zip cut disc, and that way it'll allow this to come up a little bit. So hopefully it works out okay. But yeah, we're getting some pretty good fitment. This is still some pretty solid steel in here. So once I have this in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scribe all the way around, and I'm going to do a lap weld on it. Being that it's a floor, nobody's going to see it. I'm not using Bondo on it or anything. Normally when I do panels, I would do a butt weld. But this butt's not for me. All right, overall I'm pretty happy with the fitment. I got to cut a little bit. I got to get rid of this thing here. It's not helping matters. And there's I don't know what's going on here, but once I get rid of this crap and these little grommets here, it should sit a little more flat. That's that pie cut I was telling you about. There's it's overlapping, you can see. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just take a slice right up there, and then I will hopefully that's the only butt welding I'll be doing on there. So stay tuned. All right, here I'm cutting out the old rotten floor. You didn't think I could move that fast, did you? Okay, I got most of that rotten floor pan cut out. This is just another example how to locate a heater hose with your zip cut. That went well. It's an old hose, needs to be replaced anyways. That's my excuse. Awesome rotted out exhaust. So this is just kind of rough cutout. Every time you do something, that new floor pan fits a little bit better. Got a little more trimming to do, but that's it. That's it for a little bit. Okay, the pan's getting really close here. Found a little more rot up in here. I'm gonna have to put a small patch there. If you ever think you're gonna get away with more holes, you're totally mistaken. So what I'm gonna do now is along the edge is I'm gonna make some holes with this. This is the air flanger. It flanges on one side and it makes little plug weld holes in sheet metal. So away we go. Just getting ready to weld the floor pan in. I got a shit whack of my little holes for the plug welds. I like to use sheet metal screws just to hold things in place for welding, and then remove them later. Some guys use Clecos. I don't really like them. They're a pain in the ass, I think, but you know, everybody's got their own preference. Okay, I got this floor pan tacked in. I still got lots of finish welding, and you know, I found a little extra thin metal. It had a few blow-throughs, but no big surprise. It's coming along. I mean, it's hell of a lot better, right? So that's going to be it for this floor pan. Hope you enjoyed. That's not how to do it, that's how I did it. I'm pretty happy with it. So thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing to my channel.